Well, hello. Well, as you know, on this channel, I review the affordable cameras, and I think this camera is a little bit underrated. It has lots of features. It's very well built. It's the Cosina CSM. This one, you can see the type marking is not there anymore because I was a little bit too enthusiastic with cleaning alcohol. But this is the Cosina CSM. It's a SLR, as you can see, and it has a electronic shutter with shutter speeds from 4 seconds to 1,000th of a second. And it has a bulb position as well, of course, and another different position for a flash which you can connect here. This output is something different. I will discuss it later. Well, let's have a look at the camera. Why is it so special? Well, first of all, the price. It's not very expensive. It's very well built. Like for instance, this one, it's from almost half the 70s from the previous century, so it's almost 50 years old. It has a M42 lens mount, which makes it to me very attractive because in this lens type mount, there are lots of lenses available, and they're very cheap as well. And why are they cheap? Well, they were produced in vast amounts and by different brands, so you have a lot of choices in lenses. This particular lens is actually a quite good lens. It's a Pentax 1.8 55 millimeters, and I can tell you the camera deserves it. In fact, it's a pretty special camera because at the time this one came out, most of the producers of cameras, they went to the Pentax K-mount, and the K-mount has some advantages. But nevertheless, they stayed with the M42 mount, and I must tell you that it has some amazing advanced features for that time. For instance, it has a light meter which consists of 3 LEDs, 2 red ones for over and under exposure, and the green one if the combination of exposure and aperture setting is okay. So the LED, they were for that time, well, advanced, but also the metering system. Normally with the M42 lens mounts and light meters, you had to either press a button somewhere on the camera to close the aperture, to make the measurement of the light, or press a button on the camera or the lens. Now this one goes a little bit different. Maybe you can see it, because if I press the shutter speed button half, you can see that at this point a lever is engaged, and that lever presses the little pin here which shuts the aperture to the value you have chosen. And then this camera makes the measurement of the combination of the aperture and the speed you have set, the shutter speed you have set. If you continue pressing, you can see the mirror goes up, shutter goes open. Now, if you have pressed it halfway, you think, okay, you know, I want to have full image view again, you just press this button, and then the lever goes back, and it goes again engaged if you press this again, and like this it goes back. Like said before, these are the shutter speeds. It goes from 4 seconds to 1,000th of a second. The self-timer itself is also electronically, because it is just a lever. If you press it like this, the LED starts blinking. It takes about, well, let's say 5 to 6 seconds before the picture is being taken. But if you engage it like this, nothing happens. So it is, I think, only a switch which is blocked when you have cocked the camera. Now, this camera has a nice feature because it was a challenge at the time when the Pentax K-mount came. You had lots of cameras with aperture priority. And with M42 that was a challenge, and there are a few brands who did something with it. One of them is Cosina, like this one, with a little feature I will demonstrate later. And the other brand was Chinon. They made the Memotron, and the Memotron was, by my knowledge, one of the few manufacturers of SLR cameras with M42 mount and the possibility of aperture priority. Now this one standard does not have aperture priority, as you can see. But they have a little accessory, and this is the accessory. And when you mount this on the camera, like this, you engage it like here, and you lock it here, putting the cable here. Now something odd will happen here. I've cocked the shutter now, and the aperture is 1.8, and I will show it that way, so I hope you can see what is happening. Well, first I will engage the shutter halfway, so did you hear it? The shutter speed is being set by this little accessory. Do it again. I will change the aperture now, like to f11. Let's see what happens. That means it couldn't be set because of the exposure. Now let's see. You see, it moved again. So with this feature, it is possible to convert this camera to aperture priority. And it is, I must admit, the accessory itself cost more than the camera. I paid 30 euros for the camera, including the lens. Not this lens, by the way, but another lens. And the accessory shoe was something more expensive. Anyway, it was worth it, I think, because well, it makes it complete, and it shows what the possibilities were in that era. Here we go again, and then you push it, the shutter, engage it fully, and then you make the picture. I'd like to have this one complete because it's well, an accessory of the camera that shows how innovations were made and how basically very practical this is. And I mean, if you don't need aperture priority setting, or you don't want it, it is very easy to take it off again, and then you just go on and use this camera as it was meant, standard, like just with a light meter, uncoupled light meter. To my knowledge, this camera is, well, quite unique in that way, and I've used it a lot. The quality, the build quality, is actually pretty good. It's quite good. I mean, it's almost 50 years old. It's working perfectly, and the amount of lenses you can use is stunning. So if you're starting photography again, or already an enthusiast, and you want to, expand your collection, this is really a very nice camera. I have a lot of cheap SLRs like this, and they cost me 30 to 40 euros, including the lens, and I have them just because sometimes they're unique and sometimes because they're pretty basic, and I just put a roll of film in it, black and white or color or whatever. So for every occasion I have the correct film with a SLR body with a M42 mount. Well, this was my, little review on this little gem. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.